Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. We have awesome news again from Ukrainian side because we continue our counteroffensive operation here near to Liman. We actually took that city recently, but I'll show you the new direction of Ukrainian counterattack in this video. But first of all, let's zoom to Liman, and I wouldn't say that that operation from Ukrainian side was 100% successful. Yeah, first of all, I'm gonna show you the timeline, how the front line changed recently. So it was yesterday we took Liman, and now we reached Zarechne and Torske villages. Unfortunately, majority of the Russian forces were able to withdraw from this area, so mainly Ukrainian army wasn't able to encircle like thousands and thousands of Russian soldiers. Mainly we attacked from two of the directions, from this northwest side and also southeast side. From the north side, the offensive action was much more faster because we were able to overtake Russian defense lines, and basically if we cross this river over here, there's just open road to take Liman and Zarechne over here. From Yampil, so this is the Yampil village over here, you may call it town. It's more complicated because there are more rivers, more small lakes, and here we have the forest, so it was not very convenient for our forces to attack from this part. Also, it's the town itself which may be used as a defense line, and also Russia built defense line over here, so it wasn't possible to attack from Radio Gorodok. Well, actually it was possible, but in that case we would have lost lots of our forces. And also we had to cross the Siversky Donets river over here, which is much harder to cross compared to this river over here. So attacking the north was much more faster compared to the south because of the reasons I told you. That is why we took Zarechne from the north. I think encirclement would have been successful if we would just reach those lakes, and from the south part we would cut Russians from this part, from their supplies. And now what we see, that we freed this city and mainly Russians just left this part. Again, they left most of their armored vehicles and tanks and took light vehicles to get away very fast. And firstly, 20th Russian army left this place, and mainly regiments from the self-proclaimed republics stayed there to fight against the Ukrainian army, and they were demolished, encircled. Still, it is a success of Ukrainian counterattack. Here we took our ground, but the main thing for our army is not just to take ground, but to cause losses for Russian army. And that goal was not fully achieved during this operation. However, I was almost sure that we encircled Russians because we got the information from other resources that we encircled all of this group. There could be around 5,000 soldiers, and I didn't see the videos showing the endless Russian columns of the soldiers who were imprisoned in that case, so they were able mainly to run away. It's not good sign. But still, as you can see, we took the forepost on the front line, and now there is the big gap in the Russian defense lines, and we're gonna go to Kremina over here. Kremina is very important city, my friends, because here we have the road that connects the supply lines from Svatove to Serodonetsk, Rubizhne, and Lysychansk. If you take Kremina, you cut supplies for Russian army in that region as well. Mainly they will have supplies just from this part, which would be not enough because those are the secondary roads that could be easily damaged or demolished. So the main road is over here, and I think we're not far away from Kremina. I would say 5.5 kilometers. We already can target that area and area of the Lysychansk and Severodonetsk, obviously. Also, one more gain that we took, Yampil, Liman, and all of these territories over here, they are on a high ground, so you may target Lysychansk and Severodonetsk from those positions. 37 kilometers, I think we may use Caesar artillery systems, Panzerhaubitze or M777s to target those areas. Here I do expect that we'll see three of the main vectors of Ukrainian attack. First to Svatove over here, next to Kremina, which is already ongoing, and the third one here just straight away to Lysychansk and Severodonetsk. Here we may encircle them from this side, I expect that in that case we're gonna encircle the Russian army finally. Let's go to the north here, because near to the Kupiansk we also have some sort of advantage. So let's go to yesterday. It was yesterday evening, I think. And we took this ground near to Kupiansk. By the way, Russia tried to counterattack Kupiansk again. They also shelled the city itself with their artillery. So for us, it's main thing to continue our counterattack, taking ground back to Ukraine. And here I see that we may go to Turske over here, and also we may go to Svatove. So Svatove also could be like encircled, probably, if we go in two directions. Turske, I don't think so. The main thing for Ukrainian army that we were able to cross this river over here and push the Russian forces more to the east, and it's just a matter of time. Then we'll take Svatove, and next gonna be Starobilsk, and all of the Russian group will leave, perform the goodwill gesture from this side. I promised you to speak about one more counterattack. Well, here we go. It's on the south. Recently, today, we got awesome news from this part. As you can see, let's go on a timeline. So it was yesterday, and little by little we are taking, I would say not little by little, but very significant achievements for Ukrainian army. So this morning we took Zolota Balka, and it's been reported that our army already reached Duchane. It's been reported by the Russian side so far. They are panicking, they're running away as usual. Great achievement for Ukrainian army. If we take Duchane, we may continue to proceed all across this road to reach Novakhovka. That is still under control by Russian forces. However, we targeted that bridge, and Russians cannot throw their backups to the Russian group that consists of 25,000 soldiers here in this region. But we push them very hard. Those are just fields here, my friends. They don't have any places to hide. It's very hard to build some sort of defense lines, and it's getting cold. The main thing that it's getting cold. I was driving my car today and I saw like 6 degrees on the thermometer, and Russians, they simply don't have the winter equipment. They are in lack of food, basic supplies, basic needs. That is why their morale and motivation is very low. So as usual, we use the proper time for our counterattack, and I do expect that this situation will change for tomorrow, and we'll see more gray areas and obviously blue. And now let's go to some of the news and events. By the way, my friends, this is my Telegram channel. I highly recommend you to subscribe to it, because there I regularly upload the current information that I may not sometimes upload on my main YouTube channel. So keep updated and subscribe for me there, because you may have some of the unique content. Right, about the recent advancement in Kherson area on the south, this is Hreshenivka village. Hreshenivka is over here. It's been confirmed that we took it. That is why you can see the blue color. Right, we have more trophied vehicles. Most of them are BMPs and BTRs. So Russians just left them and took light, fast vehicles to run away. We have those white crosses just to understand whether it's enemy vehicle or your friendly one, and we paint over the Z signs. Greetings to Australia. Here you can see the Bushmaster that was delivered to Ukrainian army is towing the trophied Russian BTR. Obviously it's Russian because you can see those Zs here. And this is Sukhoi Su-34 that was shot down by Ukrainian army. It has the stars here. I wish I would have access to that wreckage. I would take that star part of this airplane awesome, or with this registration number. It's interesting to see that the wreckage parts are quite big, so I think it was impact or something if you look at those engines, but mainly airplane was not destroyed into the small pieces, as I saw myself in Buzova village near to the Kyiv, where the parts were so tiny. Here you can see everything, and still it was the fire. I think those holes are the shrapnel from the impact of the Stinger or different missile. Sometimes you see Russian soldiers in very bad uniform. Well, they tried to research that question in Russia, and they found out that 1.5 million uniforms of Russian soldiers somehow disappeared from the storages. So Russian army got that uniform on the paper, but actually there is nothing. Russian corruption works for Ukraine right now. Imagine how much money they spent for that uniform that never was even produced. Some of the footages from Liman and nearby, oh, those are the Panton, the part of the Panton bridge. I think it can be used again. Kamaz obviously destroyed. I monitored the Russian publics as well, and they have panic. Now we have counterattack in Kherson, and they're saying that they've been betrayed, that everything is bad in Russia, someone needs to be punished, and we like that stuff. Also news from Turkey, the military ship that they were building was put on the water. It is still in a process because we need equipment to be put there, and that may take around 2 years. But still, it's a good sign that that ship is already on the water, and here we have the First Lady of Ukraine. Yeah, Russian military influencers start to say that we took the Dachny village, which is far away from the previous front lines, and it's great, my friends, that they are panicking and probably gonna run from this part as well. Those are the shots from the Russian propaganda movie that they are filming on occupied territories. So it's very funny, and this is the laboratory. Russian propaganda says that America built the secret laboratories here in Ukraine. Those laboratories were used to modify some kind of virus that may attack only Russians, and that was the main goal of Ukraine and America. Now Russians took the eastern side of Ukraine, where all of those laboratories were located, but here you can see it's just we call it butaphoric, so not real, fake laboratory that was built around a simple room, and it's just funny. So this guy is American, obviously, so you have American flag, you have Ukrainian flag, obviously something is wrong here. Kadyrov is sending his people to fight in Ukraine again. Those soldiers are not as experienced as we were able to demolish here before, and we have just few of the tracks. They start film the column, but actually we have even the Porsche Cayenne there, and some of the tracks. Obviously not a lot of people in that column. For sure they may do something here in Ukraine. It's not good that we have more meat coming to fight for Russia, but still in general they are not changing the system of Russia: logistics, command, control, and communication. So if they are in lack of those components in their army, no matter how many people they would send here, they will not win this war. So together with that Porsche Cayenne, we have not more than 200 soldiers in those tracks and vehicles. And by the way, UAZ, the cars they use, it's not a reliable car compared to the cars we have. Yes, mostly we have used pickups coming to Ukraine from United States, from European countries, but those are Japanese-made or European-made or American-made cars that are much more reliable compared to Russian cars. Also, it was a very interesting post today from Kadyrov himself. He was blaming Russian army, he was blaming Russian generals for the loss of Liman. He said they should take Kalashnikovs and go to the front lines themselves, but those generals were put into position by Putin. Also, the particular general that Kadyrov was blaming in his post recently got the reward of Hero of Russia from Vladimir Putin. I see a big crack here in Russian political and military management, and if Ukrainian army continue to take more ground, we're gonna see more kind of those conflicts appear in Russia. Finally, it may destabilize the Russian regime itself. Alright guys, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation here in Ukraine. Don't forget to check out my Telegram channel, it is in a video description. Now, press the like because it helps me a lot to propel my videos around YouTube, and if you want to support me financially, there are some of the links in the video description below. You may support me on Patreon, PayPal, or Donatella, whichever you like. My friends, I wish you a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time.